I'm going to share with you about what is really happening right now in March 2020 and the Ascension Process. So, in the Ascension Process, we're actually moving from our lower three chakras into our heart chakra. So, basically, we're moving from our third chakra energy of powerlessness, control, that we're moving from that energy into our heart center. And as we're moving through, this is part of the ascension process. So basically, it's not like every human's moving exactly the same way because our chakras evolve in its own rhythmic energy system. So your chakras don't evolve like one after the other after another. But in the ascension process, we're moving from the state of survival and moving into heart energy, into love, into divine frequency. And when we're moving through from the lower energy centers of survival, of feeling unworthy, of unlovable energy, of powerlessness, and we're trying to pull our energy back into heart centered energy or divine love or inner space of love, connection with oneness, wholeness, the one mind. That ascension process can sometimes be a rocky road and difficult. So, what's happening right now, again, March 23, 2020, or around this time of March 2020, is that we are trying to pull from the powerlessness, the fear, the energy of unsafe, moving into the heart. Well, when we start moving into the heart space, what happens is those lower frequencies try to pull us back in and pull us back in and pull us back in. And they're trying to do that because we are in a space of trying to raise our frequency. But then there's the old energies that are trying to hold on. It's just like, um, I was describing this to someone yesterday, how in the 1950s, the kids were all wild and the people in the 40s were like, well, that was then. And, you guys are doing things different and we don't like it. So they were trying to pull them back into the 40s. And then people, the kids in the 60s, their family members or generation in the 50s were trying to pull them back into the 50s. And that's a normal thing. But they were like, dude, it's all about peace and love. So the people in the 60s couldn't pull backward because they were moving forward. And this is what's happening now. So all this fear, all this energy of powerlessness, and that's the thing that I see the most. I feel that we are moving into a direction of feeling powerless and being pulled backward into powerlessness, which is the opposite of love. We're being pulled into fear, which is the opposite of love. Or it's at the duality. I shouldn't say really the opposite. It's the polarity of love. Let's say it's polarity of love. So this polarity is trying to swing the pendulum into fear. But the more we pull the energy back in and say, wait a minute, as my friend Diane Hayworth would say, what is love? What would love do in this moment? What would love say in this moment? If we pull ourselves back into our heart space, we're going to be aware of that part of ourselves, of our divine beingness, and recognize that so many people are feeling powerless and fear and unsafe. And we're going to hold that energy, even if it's for, let's say, 3 minutes. You hold the space of love, of connection, and just in your own space all alone, you're going to help the collective consciousness. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed or moments of like weird energy, it's because you're connecting and you're probably an empathic, and you probably have connection to the higher realm, so it's easy to tap into the collective consciousness that is holding on to the lower frequency of fear, unsafe, um, unworthiness, of powerlessness. and those lower energies. And it's okay. But if you hold the space of love and you kind of like close your eyes and open your heart a little bit, you're going to hold more of the frequency of divine love. And when you hold the frequency of divine love, it actually helps the energy more. If you do that for 3 minutes, it's going to help more than if you sat in fear for 5 hours. That little teeny bit of love is going to override that 5 hours. And that's an example, not a true estimate, by the way. My point is that the power of the love energy is where we're headed, where we are divinely being guided to go. And sometimes when we're divinely guided to go into love or into a higher frequency, the old energy tries to pull us back. And this is the ascension process. This is why it is not called the ascension immediate situation. It is called a process. So in this ascension process, we are moving from the lower energies into love. We're moving from powerless into love. So the old energies are going to try to keep us stuck in the old ways because it feels safer in the known of the fear, of the panic, of the unlovable, of the unsafety, of the powerlessness. That we know. But this whole new love ascension thing, that's a little foreign to us. And because it's a little foreign, we may be a little nervous about going to that next level. So I just want you to understand that the ascension process is a process, and we're moving from those lower energies into the heart. So if you can open up your heart, do the divine love meditation, um, care and love others when they're in fear or they're in powerlessness, it will help everyone. So I just wanted to share that with you all. I have not looked, so I should just say thank you so much. I send you so much gratitude and love. I appreciate that you spent this time listening to this. I just wanted to make it brief and to the point, because when it's brief and to the point, it's easier um, to absorb. All right. So you have a beautiful, blessed day.